Years. We were just talking in the break, and you still do it? You're still out there? You're still going out?
Well, I kind of semi-retired.
Reasonable voice, stammering delivery, deadpan eyes, and poker-faced look of Bob Newhart. He has the ability to tickle even the hardest of your bones in a funny way. What differentiates him from his comedian counterparts is that, unlike others who employ tricks and punches, he gets his audience into a laughter riot with a cantankerous voice and a calm demeanor. Interestingly, the stammer and the stutter, which we have grown fond of, is not an inherent Newhart trait, but a self-made one. 3 times Grammy Award winner, Newhart's trademark one-sided conversation and telephone monologues have captured the hearts of millions of his fans worldwide.
And my wife and I, we moved out of a big house into a not as big a house.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Net Worth Now, where you get to see the lifestyle and net worth of your favorite celebrities. We hope you enjoy these videos, and if you do, please remember to hit the like button and comment below who your favorite celebrity is so we can feature them in an upcoming video.
His full name is George Robert Newhart, also known as Charlie Everybody. He was born on September 5th, 1929 in Oak Park, Illinois, United States, making him 92 years old at the time of this production. He stands at 5 feet 8 inches or 173 centimeters tall. He has been a tech enthusiast from a very young age and has admired the technology. He explains his interest in computers. He says, "I have a Sony Vaio tower now. I bought my first computer 23 years ago, around the time my daughter was born. I remember leafing through a copy of Popular Science magazine and seeing an ad for a Commodore computer that had 8 or 16K of memory. It had an awful-looking screen, and it was $795. I thought I'd better get one because I had sons who were going to be in high school, and I might want to know about computers. Later, I moved up to a 64K model and thought that was silly because it was more memory than I would ever possibly need. I also had an Atari and K-Pros." Robert Bob Newhart and Virginia Ginny Quinn are one of the rare couples whose marriage has endured decades despite being part of the entertainment industry. Bob and Ginny first met on a blind date, set up by late comedian Buddy Hackett in 1962. Back then, Ginny was the babysitter of Hackett's children, and he had already met Newhart while working on The David Susskind Show in 1960. On their first date, Ginny and Bob had dinner, and they played pool at his home. However, Ginny's, whose father was also an actor, was hesitant about going out with someone in the industry. For Newhart, on the other hand, it was almost love at first sight. Bob and Ginny tied the knot in 1963, and soon after started having kids. They are the proud parents of sons Robert, 55, Timothy, 52, and daughters Jennifer, 48, and Courtney, 41. Between all of them, Bob and Ginny have 10 grandchildren. The couple led a pretty traditional lifestyle for the time. Newhart would go out to film his TV shows and movies, while Ginny stayed home at their Bel Air home, taking care of the kids.
And Ginny said to me, "You're going nuts, aren't you?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I'm going nuts."
Yeah.
She said, "Okay, go get some dates."
Newhart was born on September 5th, 1929, at West Suburban Hospital in Oak Park, Illinois. His parents were George David Newhart, a part owner of a plumbing and heating supply business, and Julia Pauline, a housewife. His mother was of Irish descent, and his father was of Irish ancestry. One of his grandmothers was from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Newhart was educated at Roman Catholic schools in the Chicago area, including St. Catherine of Siena Grammar School in Oak Park, and attended St. Ignatius College, graduating in 1947. He then enrolled at the Loyola University of Chicago, from which he graduated in 1952 with a bachelor's degree in business management. Newhart was drafted into the United States Army and served in the United States during the Korean War as a personnel messenger until being discharged in 1954. He briefly attended Loyola University Chicago School of Law, but he did not complete a degree. In part, he says, because he was asked to behave unethically during an internship. For 2 years after graduation, He served in the United States Army as a personnel manager in Korean War. Relieved from his duties in 1954, he took up a job as an accountant and later in 1958 as an advertising copy editor. In his pastime, he wrote comedy sketches for radio. During his years at the ad agency, he made long telephonic calls to Ed Gallagher, his coworker, wherein they entertained each other. Later, they recorded these calls and started using them as tapes for an audition for comedy work. Though Gallagher lost interest in the same with time, he continued the recordings and developed a lingo that remained with him for the rest of his life. Coincidentally, an audition tape was heard by a disc jockey in 1959 who officially introduced him to Warner Brothers Records' Talent League. His impressive comic timing and knack for playing with words earned him a contract with a production house. He was basically entrusted with the job of expanding his recorded material into a stand-up routine. No sooner he became famous for his radio releases, which portrayed him as the world's first solo straight man. His main motive was to bring to the audience one end of a conversation. In his act, he mostly used intentional stammer, smoothly clubbing the same with politeness and disbelief of what he was hearing. The interesting combination left the audience in splits of laughter every time they heard his gags. 1 year later, he became so famous that he released his own debut album, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart. Though it was too early for him to launch his own album, the risk paid off as the audience was in awe of his unique storytelling style and ability to match comedian sensibility in absurd situations. His deadpan delivery and purposeful stammer won the hearts of the audience on the small screen, leading him to bad comedy roles in popular films, starting with Hell is for Heroes. Thereafter, he was seen in a couple of movies such as First Family, On a Clear Day You Can See Forever, In and Out, Cold Turkey, Catch-22, Elf, and Horrible Bosses. In 1972, his presence on the television screen, which was by then restricted to guest roles and character actors, magnified as he was offered work in a pilot series titled The Bob Newhart Show. Unlike the former variety show, it was a sitcom, produced by MTM and aired on CBS. The Bob Newhart Show ran for 6 seasons, featuring 142 episodes. In the sitcom, he played the role of a dry psychologist, Bob Hartley. It faced tough competition from other shows, but nevertheless managed to gain enough TRP. At the end of The Bob Newhart Show, he went into hiatus from television. His sabbatical ended 4 years later in 1982, when he was featured in a new sitcom on CBS titled Newhart. In it, he played the character of Vermont innkeeper Dick Loudon.
I mean, people love it. They love to see you. It's what you were born to do, so why not do it? Why not
That's the first thing I did, and it's, as long as I have my health.
According to estimates, Newhart makes around $1 million per year. During his time at CBS, his episode salary was around $150,000. As of 2021, Newhart's net worth is estimated to be around $65 million. Previously, he owned a house in Bel Air, which he sold in 2016 for $14.5 million. This house has 5 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and covers more than 9,000 square feet. He purchased this 1.4-acre compound in Bel Air, California for $4.2 million. In his garage, you will find a Cadillac wagon, a Ford Thunderbird, a Dodge Charger, a Bugatti Veyron, a Ferrari F430 Spider, a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and a Mercedes-Benz.